Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are doing good. So you might have already seen this outfit and this look in an update video that I did, because I'm filming 2 videos in one day. Sometimes with things just going on in day-to-day life, it's just easier if I'm able to sit down and have the time to film a couple of videos. That's just easier for my schedule. So hopefully you don't mind seeing me in the same outfit twice, or the same look in the same scene. Okay. Anyway, this is a furniture restoration video, so hopefully that interests you. I want to talk to you really quick before we go into seeing the piece and everything, about how I came about it, why I purchased it, and where's my phone? I need to get my phone because I pulled up the history on the piece. So I frequent antique stores, and I've actually have done shopping hauls in the past where I have shown you where I hit little boutiques in my area. Let me get it. I just want to pull it up. Sorry. Where is it? There it is. Okay. I frequent areas in my local community and surrounding areas, and I think it was last year, right around Christmas time, Dan and I went to an antique mall, and I like vintage magazines. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. Like, I will buy older magazines, and I got like a McCall's magazine with Jacqueline Kennedy on the front. I love reading old magazines and looking at what people saw in the magazines during those eras, and I love seeing ads. I love seeing the old ads, especially when you see an ad like, you know, come in today and get, you know, your, you know, Sears blah 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 for like $9, and you're like, that was $9, really? Now it's like $500, you know. Inflation. I can go on and on about all that nonsense, but I won't. Anyway, I love reading magazines, and we went in there, and we didn't have a lot of time on our hands, but I picked up that magazine, and we did like a quick, this was last year, just before Christmas, we did a quick walkthrough, and I saw this antique high chair, and I didn't know much about it, but they called it a convertible, and I was like, convertible, and it actually said convertible rocker, and it was sitting in the high chair position, and I was like, convertible rocker, like what? It's a high chair, right? Like, I didn't quite understand it because I didn't have the knowledge then of what exactly I was looking at. And I was like, there's got to be a way that this converts then into a rocker. And I didn't want to mess with it because I didn't know what I was messing with. And these booths are set up with these individual people's property, like this is their items that they're selling. So I didn't want to mess with something that I didn't know what I was messing with. So I just left it alone, but I just thought that was really interesting. A high chair that converts into a rocker. So I went on ahead and went through Christmas. Now we're in 2023, and it was around February. I was like, you know what? I'm going to look into that high chair, do a little bit of research on it. So I started researching it, and I found that that particular style of high chair came out in 1870. And through 1870 to like 1903, the wheels changed. And I was like, well, what do the wheels do? Because the one I saw didn't have wheels. I discovered that the one that had the wheels converted into a stroller. The one that didn't have the wheels converted into a rocker. And then they had one, get this, that was a potty chair. The bottom came out and it converted into a potty chair. And I'm like, there used to be a high chair that either converted into a potty chair, a rocker, or a stroller. Now, I had a high chair for all three of my boys that converted into a desk. None of them were made of the quality of this particular high chair, okay? But I just thought that was very innovative of the time, okay? That they designed this type of high chair and they patented. So I started doing a little bit of research and kind of learning how the style changed. Like the very first ones had like really big wheels and the tray was very different. I'll try to include a picture of it if I can. And I was like, I didn't like the one with the really big wheels. First of all, I liked the one that converted into a stroller. I thought that one was pretty cool. So that's the one I was kind of keeping, a lookout for. And I found different images of how it changed. I really wasn't finding any videos about someone showing you how it changed or converted. Just that I saw images and pictures about what to press and how to get it to go down and things like that. So I kind of became interested in that. Fast forward, I think it was the end of April, I went to my local antique store and I saw the high chair. But I saw a 1902 high chair with the smaller wheels. At the time, I didn't know it was 1902. I just know they started coming out in the 1870s. So I came home and did a little research, and it's the Edwardian spindle high chair. So they started in 1870, and then in 1902, they started putting the spindles on them. Okay, so they kind of switched it up. And the particular high chair I saw was from 1902. Now, because I was getting information about it, I noticed that this high chair was missing pieces. All the compartments and the mechanisms weren't there to convert it into the stroller. It was just the chair. I'll try to include a picture. And I even posted it to Instagram. Love this beautiful high chair. But it didn't have the tray that flips over. So the tray flips behind you and then flips forward. You'll see that. And then the back handle comes down and it turns into a stroller. It was missing all those. It didn't have the tray and it didn't have I don't think it had the handle, and it just had the wheels and the actual seat. And the original seat was made of a wicker. Whereas this high chair, the wicker must have been damaged because they stained a piece of wood and put it where the wicker would be. And they wanted $95 for it. And I was looking for something in its original state. So I started researching online and I went to Facebook Marketplace and I found two. All the mechanisms were there. They appeared to be working. They advertised that it can convert. They showed pictures of it converting. They both had the wicker chair. They both had the tray. They just both needed a lot of TLC. One was selling for $175 and one was selling for $150. And they both dated back to 1902. So I kind of kept my eye. The one from 170 was about 15 minutes up the road from me, and then the $150 one was actually where my in-laws live. And I was kind of keeping an eye. I went back the following week. The one in my area was 175. The other one was still 150. Went back again the following week, and I noticed the one that was for 150 dropped to 125. I was waiting to see if potentially it would drop to 100 because they were firm on the offer. If they were going to drop it to 100, I was then going to just ask my mother-in-law if she could go pick it up for me, look at it, check it out and stuff. But then I went to the one that was $175 in my area, you ready for this? They dropped it to $75. They knocked $100 off. And I was like, no way. And they were willing to do or best offer or make an offer. There's like a little button there that says, what does it say on Facebook Marketplace? You know where you can hit the button and it says, what is it? Some of them say offer. I'm trying to find one. I don't know exactly. Send offer. That's what it is. Like this one says send offer. Like I love this stove right here. This one says send offer. Well, if you click on it, sometimes you'll notice that they'll actually take a little less. So even though they had 75, they were selling it for 75, they were willing to take 65. So I put in that offer and sent it, and about 5 minutes later they got back with me and they accepted my offer. And by that afternoon, I had that high chair. I was so excited. They showed me how it worked, how all the mechanisms work. So now I fully understand how this chair works. And it, guys, the only thing it needed was some TLC. It was fully intact. The wood was absolutely gorgeous, just beautiful, so solid. All the work was done by hand. They just don't do that anymore. Everything is so manufactured and assembly lined, and yeah, you know, I mean, I love the way the Amish make the furniture because they put so much detail and they do everything by hand still. But yeah, I just felt so fortunate, and I was so thankful. Like I just kept telling them, thank you so much. I said, I'm going to take care of this. And I even sent them pictures on Instagram Messenger of showing them how I restored the piece and how I decorated it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So it just needed a lot of TLC. It needed, the wood needed nourishing. It needed to just be restored to its natural beauty. And yeah, that's what you're going to see today. So let's go do that. So here's the stroller / high chair. And Dan laid down this painter towel for me. I'm going to clean this all up so I can display it. Love this up in here. It just needs a really good cleaning. Really good cleaning. Needs some love. I'm going to show you how it converts from a high chair to a stroller. I'm going to have Dan help me do that. But for the most part, guys, I'm going to leave it as a high chair. Okay, here's the high chair, and Miss Molly is barking at it, of course. So it's a high chair. The only imperfection it has is right here. I was reading up, a little bit of wood glue will help connect that. It's okay, baby girl. But this is the tray, and the tray lifts back. Now keep in mind, I haven't cleaned this. The tray lifts all the way back and can come all the way down like that. And then I'm going to show you how you can convert this into a stroller real quick. So that snaps down, and then back here is a little lever, and then you got a stroller. So it's like a 2-in-1. Okay guys, I got it all cleaned up. It roughly took me about almost 2 hours to get it clean before I antique oiled treatment of it. I just followed some steps to get, the debris off of it and just really get it clean. It wasn't too bad. It had some spots that just really needed to be cared for, but I got its first antique oil on it, and look how it's just shining right up. And I love these, super shiny. Love the footstool there. And up here, loving how this shined right up. And on the back, let's see. So beautiful. Handles. The craftsmanship on these antique pieces just wow me. As I was cleaning it, I told Dan, I said, makes you wonder what babies, sat in this chair. But yes, love it. I'm so glad that I got it. Like I said, it took about about an hour and a half to 2 hours to actually clean it before I started putting antique oil treatment on it. So tomorrow I'm gonna let this dry tonight, and then I'm gonna put on another layer tomorrow and really, let the wood soak that in tonight and then let it soak in tomorrow. So, but yes, I'm so excited that I found this chair. I have been looking for the convertible high chair and stroller concept. Yes, I am so glad I got this. And what I'm going to be doing, guys, is I'm going to be putting, it's going to be a decor piece. And then, of course, I'm thinking about putting something up here. I haven't decided if I'm going to put something up here or put something down, in there. We'll see. There it is, all done. I don't know if you can see how beautiful of a shine I got on this. It's literally just taking the time out to restore its beauty. When I got it, there was no mechanical issues with it. Everything worked just fine. It just needed some TLC. Look how beautiful that wood is, and it's just so shiny and all cleaned up. I love it. So between a couple of hours yesterday, a couple of hours today, cleaning it all up, yes, I am so pleased with it. Now, how I cleaned it was, I've watched several videos and read several blogs and talked to people that own antique stores. And they pretty much all had very similar information. I used a little bit of mild dish soap with lots of water, hot water, and I just wiped it all down. First, I dusted it all off to get the dusting off. Then I went on ahead and wiped it down with a mild detergent, lots of warm water. Then I turned around warm water, about a cup and 2 tablespoons, I believe, of distilled vinegar, wiped it down again, dried it all up. And then I came over with a little bit of Old English scratch cover for dark wood. And then I let that dry overnight. And then today I just waxed it really well. I picked this up at my local antique store. They have wood care and antique care products for your antiques and even just your regular wood furniture too. This has a polyurethane on it, guys. This does not. I'm not putting one on. I like it in its natural state. And not only that, it shined up beautifully, and it's more of a decor piece. I don't plan on putting a small child in this, but it just came out beautifully. Again, I'll show you really quick how diversal this antique Victorian high chair is. This is the traditional way of the high chair, with the table coming forward and it being a baby high chair. So I have mine sitting there for right now. And I will show you how they would traditionally take the table, push it all the way back, and bring it to the table so as the child grows, they can actually dine at the table with the family.
after reading up on the history of this particular Victorian style high chair, one of the ways that it was explaining that it could be used, or that they used during that time, was as the baby got older and became more toddler-like, they would take this piece right here, push it all the way back, and then bring the chair up to the table. Now my table sits pretty low, so of course this blocks it, but if it was a higher table, this would slide in, and then the toddler could sit at the table with the family. And there it is again as a stroller. Now this by far is my favorite concept of this whole high chair convertible stroller. Again, after reading some history on this Victorian style piece, it was mentioned that back during that era that families liked this because, of course, it was a multi-purpose high chair to stroller, but it was also easier to move it about the house. When they needed to move the high chair from one room to the other, I read that they just converted it into the stroller and then just strolled it from room to room. So yeah, I just think this is a really neat concept.
So there you have it, guys. There is the high chair, and I love it. Dan likes it. After we got it all cleaned up, he was like, honey, that looks really nice. He goes, I like that. He goes, and I like how you have it decorated for right now. And I was like, yeah, it's like you can take a piece of antique furniture and put a little bit of decor in it and make it, just make it a beautiful piece. And not only that, it's a conversational piece when people come over, because I've already shown some people that have come over, I've already shown them how it converts, and they're like, wow. There's a antique high chair blogger that I found, and he blogs about the high chairs, the history of the particular high chair I got, and he allows you to leave comments and at the end of his blog. And one person said, how did you find a high chair? He had one from 1880, and they asked, how did you find that high chair, and how come it's not like all busted up? And he responded to that comment and he said, well, I found it at an antique auction, number one. Number two, it's lasted this long because it's solid wood. As long as you take care of wood, solid wood, it just ages. It doesn't deteriorate. These pieces of furniture or these pieces that you find weren't made on an assembly line with a bunch of machines. They were made with people's hands, and they carved it, and they just put so much of their time and detail into it, and they last long because their quality. It's like the wheels are made of cast iron. Cast iron isn't going to crack or break or bust. I mean, you really gotta, it's just not, It's not a high chair made of plastic and particle board, where it pops or breaks or cracks, okay? But anyway, we love it, and Dan loves it, and in order to maintain it, I just put It's Beauty. I originally put the wax on. Now I just put the antique orange oil on there to give it a nice little shine and nourish the wood, because it's not sealed wood. It doesn't have a polyurethane seal on it. It's in its natural state, which is what I want. And he loves that scent. He's like, I love that orange antique smell. It's like, sometimes he just grabs it like, I love this smell. And I already clean our furniture with that. All of my dark, mahogany, cherry, walnut, oak furniture with that. So, but yeah, we love it. So guys, thank you so much for stopping by today and seeing this restoration of this 1902 high chair. So until next time, guys, y'all have a magical day and a magical week. I will see y'all later. Bye.